one of the best midfielder is Ryan Giggs. Young Giggs. We finish off this list with somewhat of a surprise selection, but one that is definitely worth noting. Ryan Giggs has been an iconic player of the past 2 decades and will finish his career with one of the most impressive array of the Champions League, Premier League, and other titles to his name. After all, he has won more Premier League titles than Chelsea, Manchester City, and Tottenham Hotspur combined. However, Giggs' importance in midfield goes far beyond titles. He has transformed over time from being a traditional number 11 to more of holding midfielder. He was Sir Alex Ferguson's gut player of the past decade and so often came up big plays with United. Needed the most, one of the Marcus world-class players, like so many others on this list. Giggs doesn't have the legacy yet, but he will, and when he does, his name will no doubt be mentioned alongside others on this list as one of the greatest midfielders ever to grace the world football stage. The other best midfielders is Diego Maradona. No surprise to see Diego Maradona on this list. It is little surprise that 2 clubs where he had the most success, Napoli and Barcelona, both broke transfer records to sign him. Maradona was simply that good, and anyone who watched the tap back to the 1986 World Cup will see why he is now heralded one of the greatest players of all time, if not the greatest of them all. So the other one is Mikhail Laudrup. Having watched Mikhail Laudrup exert his brilliance on the football pitch as a player, we really shouldn't be surprised that Swansea City manager is able to have success this season in both the English Premier League and Carling Cup like such is his brilliance on the field. Laudrup was an elegant dribbler who constantly created havoc going forward. He has legendary status at both Real Madrid and Football Club Barcelona, and given that many footballers can't attest to similar status with both Spanish powerhouses, there is a little doubting just how special Laudrup was and still is. Zizinho. Pele, yes, that Pele had this to say about Zizinho. He was a complete player. He played in midfield and attack. He scored goal. He could mark, head and cross. And if we have seen anything from Pele post-football, it's that doesn't tuck up players to that extent unless they truly are a world-class player. Zizinho had a remarkable array of skills that saw him become one of the most complete midfield players in history. His passing and vision were sublime, but he was also very capable of finishing with deadly accuracy. When defenders opted to sit off him and give him too much space. Out of all the world-class Brazilian internationals, Zizinho ranked 4th in the IFFHS Brazilian Player of the 20th Century, without ever winning the World Cup. Frank Rijkaard. Frank Rijkaard's career achievement list reads one of the best in world football, winning titles with Ajax, Milan, Barcelona, and with Dutch national team. As the boss player and the manager, he was won UEFA Champions League title 3 times, which in itself is quite an incredible achievement. However, much of Rijkaard's success cannot be measured in titles. He was a true workhorse in midfield and one of that redefined the way that central defensive midfielders operate. He was stylish and aggressive, and while that might have seen him get on the wrong side of opposing player from time to time, he certainly made up for it with abundant talent and skill. One of the best defensive midfielders of the modern era, and he deserved entry into the FIFA 100 list. Johan Cruyff. Johan Cruyff is one of the true midfield greatest in history, and one whose impact on the game continues to be seen every passing week. Teams right around the world try to employ the tactics and styles that Cruyff embodied with both Ajax and the Netherlands, and for good reason. Cruyff is simply on another level when it comes to great midfielders. Sir Bobby Charlton. Charlton is one of the greatest number 10s in the history of football, with his constant presence in the middle of the field, leading to great success for Manchester United and England alike, something that many Three Lions fans have often hoped will be emulated in years to come. However, sadly, they will likely be disappointed, for few, if any, will ever do what Charlton did back in his prime. The other one is Zico. Zico's most recent achievements have come in coaching roles for various clubs around the world, but also far as playing success goes, the Brazil international certainly checked up a fair bit as well, winning nearly everything there was to win in his native Brazil as well as on the international side. A legend of the game, Zico was an incredibly talented player who so often showed moments of absolute genius going forward with the ball at his feet. In an interview with FIFA, he concluded by saying that the other one is Zinedine Zidane. Zinedine Zidane is another name that simply must be on this list. The France international was fundamental to his nation's success throughout the late 1990 and early 2000 century, and will go down as one of the great international players of all time. However, domestic fans, especially that of Juventus and Real Madrid, will also certainly rejoice at his achievement as well with Zidane leaving the game with one of the most impressive resumes available. Xavi Hernandez. Xavi Hernandez is we kick this list off with one of the modern midfielders in world football in Xavi Hernandez. And while the La Blaugrana star might not possess the legacy and the long-lasting impact that some others in this list have, there is a little doubting that he will go down as one of the true greatest of the game when he tries one day. Few midfielders are as crucial to teams' style and system like Xavi is to Barcelona's. He is the vital cook that holds the entire tiki-taka system together, and with over 100 completed passes chalked up in seemingly every single game, there is no doubting just how talented he truly is. This is all for today. Thanks for watching. Nikias on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe this YouTube channel to get latest and updated information of the world. Till we meet in new video. Have a nice time. Stay safe. Keep your distance. Have a nice time.